Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're charting a course for northern Malaysia, setting our sights on Langkawi. It's that incredible archipelago. 99 islands, known for just stunning tropical beauty.
Absolutely stunning. But what really stands out from the sources is this kind of tension. It's a place caught between, ancient geological history and very modern commercial drive.
Right.
So our mission today is really to unpack that. We want to give you the practical insights, from its UNESCO geopark status right down to its unique flavors, basically a shortcut to understanding this major Asian destination.
And it really is major. You look at the numbers. Tourism is clearly the powerhouse there.
No question.
I saw figures like by 2023, Langkawi was pulling in something like 2.8 million arrivals. Air, sea, cruises. It's booming.
It is definitely booming. And that boom, that whole economy, it sits on this foundation that's literally 500 million years old.
500 million, wow.
Yeah, and that's the core tension, you see. How does a place manage to be this huge duty-free shopping destination while also trying to preserve rock formations that go back 550 million years?
Yeah.
Seems like a huge challenge.
It really does. Okay, so let's start there with that ancient history. This isn't just local pride, we're talking globally recognized natural heritage.
Exactly. Langkawi was actually the first place in Southeast Asia to get the UNESCO Global Geopark designation. And that was back in 2007.
First in Southeast Asia, that's significant.
It is. And it's all because of this incredibly ancient and unique geological record. I mean, you're basically surrounded by the oldest rocks in Malaysia. It's quite something.
550 million years. It's hard to even wrap your head around that time scale. So when you're there, how does that manifest? Where should visitors go to really feel that ancientness?
Well, UNESCO highlights three main areas: the geoforest parks. You've got the Mashincheng Cambrian Park, the Killam Karst, and then the Dayang Bunting Marble Park.
Okay.
These are really the pillars supporting that geopark status. They're not just protecting rocks, but also all the unique biodiversity that's grown up around them over millennia.
That focus on nature is interesting, especially when you think about Langkawi's past. Historically, it was more about farming and fishing, wasn't it?
That's right. Heavy reliance on agriculture, fishing. The big pivot, the game changer, was 1987.
What happened then?
That's when the government declared Langkawi a duty-free island. And that single decision, it was like a lightning strike for the economy.
The duty-free status.
Exactly. It just drove massive growth, tourism exploded, and it fundamentally shifted the island's focus away from those traditional livelihoods.
So wait, they went from fishing boats to duty-free shops almost overnight? Was that a smooth transition? I mean, what about the people who relied on the old ways?
Well, the sources suggest it was seen as necessary for economic progress, but yeah, integrating that change was definitely the challenge. That's where the modern branding comes in, this naturally Langkawi idea.
Right, I saw that phrase.
It's a conscious effort to sort of harmonize the commercial success, the shopping, the resorts, with this incredible natural heritage, the UNESCO status, the environmental protection. They're trying to sell both nature and luxury at the same time.
Managing that tension you mentioned earlier. Okay, let's shift to experiencing those natural wonders. If you go, you absolutely have to see the island from above, right? I read about the Sky Cab and the Sky Bridge. They sound, immense.
Oh, they are. Quite the engineering marvel.
Yeah.
The Sky Cab, people often say it's the world's steepest cable car ride. It takes you way up the mountainside.
Steepest. Wow, and that gets you to the Sky Bridge.
Yes, which itself is just spectacular. It's this curved pedestrian bridge hanging 660 meters above sea level. The views over the jungle, the sea, just panoramic.
Incredible. But there's a practical tip here, isn't there? Something about the wind.
Spot on. You're very high up, so strong winds can be a real factor.
So it might close.
Yeah, sometimes they have to temporarily close the bridge for safety if the winds get too high. So, a little tip. If walking that bridge is high on your list, try to get there right when the Sky Cab opens, usually around 9 a.m. Go early. Better chance.
Good advice. Okay, for a different kind of perspective, more vertical, there's the Seven Wells waterfall, Talaga Tujuh, is that right?
That's the one. And the name Talaga Tujuh, it literally means 7 wells.
Why 7 wells?
The sources explain it comes from these 7 natural pools right at the top of the waterfall. The water cascades down this 91-meter drop and collects in these pools.
And there are different ways to experience it, yeah. Like an easy part and a hard part.
Exactly. The lower section is really accessible, great for just cooling off, swimming in the pools there. But the real reward, arguably, is the upper section.
What's involved there?
It means climbing. There's a pretty steep staircase, about 900 steps, I believe.
900 steps. Okay, that's a workout.
It is. But when you reach the top, you find those natural pools, almost like little jacuzzis carved into the rock. Great payoff for the climb.
Okay, maybe if 900 steps isn't quite your speed, let's go back down to the water level. Mangrove tours seem really important there.
They are hugely important. These mangrove forests, especially on the northeast coast, are absolutely vital to the island's ecosystem.
How so? What do they do?
Well, they act as nurseries for fish and other marine life. And crucially, they're a natural barrier, protecting the coastline from big waves and erosion. Really critical.
And I heard something quite surprising about the mangroves, or at least about the tours. Something about mosquitoes, or rather, the lack of them.
Ah, yes. That's a fascinating point that often comes up on the tours. Langkawi, despite being tropical, has relatively few mosquitoes.
How is that possible?
Bats. The island has a massive bat population, and they're incredibly efficient insect eaters. So they keep mosquito numbers way down. It's a pretty nice natural perk for tourists, you know.
Definitely a selling point. Fewer mosquitoes in the tropics. Sign me up.
It's a great example of the ecosystem working well.
And speaking of the ecosystem, this focus on nature also brings up some ethical considerations for visitors, right? Things to be mindful of to support that geopark status.
Yes, definitely. The sources consistently advise against a couple of common practices. First, feeding the eagles.
Oh, I've seen tours advertising that. Eagle feeding.
Exactly. It's often part of island hopping tours.
Yeah.
But feeding them, especially things like chicken skin, which is common, it really messes up their natural diet and hunting instincts.
Right. Not good long term. What else?
The other point is about commercial crocodile farms. They often have shows, kind of like stunts, purely for entertainment. The advice is generally to avoid those and stick to seeing wildlife in its natural habitat where possible. It's just a more ethical approach.
Makes sense. Okay, excellent context. So we've talked about the water, the coastline, the geology, and how vital these natural resources are. But they're not just crucial for bats and mangroves, are they? They form the foundation for Langkawi's food scene, which many say is some of the best in Malaysia.
Oh, absolutely. The cuisine benefits massively from the geography. You've got this incredible access to fresh seafood, wonderful local vegetables, unique herbs, spices. It all comes together.
You can find it everywhere.
Pretty much. That's the great thing. From, super affordable roadside stalls, maybe run by fishermen themselves, all the way up to fancy 5-star resort dining. There's something for every budget.
Okay, let's dive into the essentials. If you eat one thing in Malaysia, it probably has to be nasi lemak, right?
You have to start there.
Yes.
It's the signature dish. Really hearty. Get that lovely coconut-infused rice. That it's served with hard-boiled egg, crunchy fried peanuts, crispy anchovies, and of course the sambal, that spicy shrimp-based sauce. It's everywhere, anytime. Sets the baseline.
But where Langkawi apparently really shines, maybe even claims the top spot, is ikan bakar, grilled fish.
Yes. Given that direct access to the sea, the freshness is key. They argue their ikan bakar is just unmatched.
What makes it so special?
It's all about the marinade, really. The fish gets absolutely coated in this complex paste. You've got sambal, turmeric, chili, galangal, and critically belacan, that's fermented shrimp paste. Gives it a real depth.
Okay, that sounds intense.
It is. Then they wrap it all up tightly in a banana leaf and grill it over charcoal. The leaf keeps it moist, infuses flavor, gets a bit smoky. It's just fantastic. Spicy, savory taste of the sea.
My mouth is watering already.